Mic check one, mic check two, mic check three, mic check motherfucking four, mic check five. All right, all right. Yeah, we are back. Let me finish getting situated over here. Let me finish getting situated over here. Let me finish getting situated over here. Y'all, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Let me get the TikTok going. Let's get the TikTok going. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's do this right here. Let's just label this trigger warning. Boom. All right. Damn, my face. Okay. Can't be all shine in the camera. Can't be all shine in the camera. Spark is good to see you. Maria, hey, how you doing? Astro is good to see y'all. Let me go ahead and set this up. For some odd reason, I don't know why it likes to do that, but we're going to straighten that up. Let's do this right here. Let's move this around about right here. And we're going to drop this down. Let's drop that down right there. All right, I think we got it. Debbie, how you doing? Good to see you. All right, I'm just still setting it up, y'all. Just give me a second. Still setting it up. Man, finally got this page. Fat Boo, good to see you over there on YouTube. Good to see you. Hey, appreciate y'all tapping the screen while y'all coming in. I really, really appreciate that. So what we gotta do is get this back into algorithm because, TikTok, TikTok pretty much kind of forgot about me. So we finally got this page back going, and we gonna see where it goes from here. So y'all do me a favor, y'all. Everybody's coming in, y'all just share it out. Let your friends know, let your family know. Your boy Great Vibes is in. We are back at it. I'm going to say today that today's live is going to be very, very, very triggering. All right, so I want to make sure I give that heads up. Lori, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for sharing the live out too. Yeah, today's live is going to be very triggering. All right, so I know when I talk about topics like this, if people they will start to remember things that happened to them, a long time ago, and eventually, y'all, this is what I tell people while we're waiting for everybody to come in. My job here is to if you look at my bio, if you look at my bio, let me see if I can cut this down. Let me bring up my bio. Whenever y'all get a chance, look at my bio, all right? And this for everybody that's still coming in. My bio clearly states I'm here to give people a space to speak so heavy stones can be lifted and moved. And a lot of y'all still holding on to heavy stones. So if it triggers certain things that happened to you in the past, man, okay, that looks good. I can deal with that. That looks good. I can deal with that. The one and only, how you doing? Good to see y'all. Done. Good to see you. The good thing about it, y'all, we got the platform back. So my job is to keep this platform the way it is, and YouTube, I'm speaking to TikTok. Um, my job is to keep this platform from being messed over again, because right now they are threatening my platform again. So if I get like another strike or another violation, more than likely they are going to take my platform, from me forever. All right. So I will say this. I will say this. The only thing that I ask for people to do is come in. Roro, how you doing? Roro, how you doing? Um, my job is to make sure that I keep the platform leveled and try to keep everything respectful. Uh, at times, if people find me disrespectful, hey, I can't control your feelings. But certain things that I can say that won't keep my live from going down. All right. So the only thing that I ask, yeah, TikTok got me in the shadows for real. TikTok got me in the shadows for real. For real. So y'all just keep tapping the screen, y'all. That's all I can say. Just keep tapping the screen and let's get those likes up and yeah, we're gonna go from there. And also, if you're living in the Arkansas area, the Tennessee area, more likely the along the Mississippi River, the Kentucky area, the boot heel of Missouri. If you not hearing it right now, you about to be feeling it. It's storms out there right now, and they're talking about tornadoes and all the other stuff that's going to happen. I'm not co-hosting nobody. Stop. So just be on the lookout for that. All right. Why? Turn it off. All right. So we're going to decline. Turn off co-host. So yeah. So just be out on the lookout for that. All right. Also, if you are part of the Super Fan Club, thank you so much for joining joining our Super Fan. If you haven't joined the Super Fan Club, look into it. Look into it. I'm trying to see if I can give shout outs to everybody that's in it. And it won't let me see it. All right, that's cool. I'm trying to cover a few things before we get started. Let's see, YouTube. For everybody that's part of our membership over there, it looks like that everybody that's in the chat. And what's going on? We're down to 3. Okay. Everybody that's in the chat, y'all are part of the membership. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. And for everybody that's tapping the screen on Don and Elena, thank you so much for that. Elena gave a pumpkin. Look at the pumpkin. I appreciate that. Don, thank you so much for your daily heart meat. Laura, thank you so much for your 6 pumpkins. Sandy K, thank you so much for your look like you're awesome. Thank y'all so much for putting that to the live. Maria, thank you so much for the hearts. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So y'all, man. So we're gonna have to work like hell to get this platform back. Appreciate it, Elena. So yeah. Yeah, pretty much don't know where to go from there. Now, y'all, let's see. Fat Boo, good to see you over. Oh, she on both platforms. She said, "What's up, TikTok? I appreciate it." It's like, how she get over there so quick? Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for throwing the hearts over there. But again, like I said tonight, y'all, this live that I'm going to present to you all is going to be very triggering. And I have to do this. I have to do these types of lives. That's the only way for you to overcome the hurdle that's been holding you back for a very long time. What you say? You said last gift given. I got to re-up at home on my laptop this time. I appreciate it. Shandu, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live. Sandy Kate, thank you so much for sharing the live. Yeah, I'm going to need y'all help pushing it out. Because as y'all can see, TikTok is not pushing it, right? Because they banned the platform, right? They banned the platform. So right now, don't nobody know that TikTok don't even know I'm live, all right? Whenever y'all get a chance, man, just push it out for your boy. And for everybody that's coming in on YouTube, thank y'all so much for coming in. The only thing that I ask for y'all to do is just tap in, liking, and do what y'all got to do. The one and only, thank you so much for sharing the live out. I really appreciate it. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and get started because this is going to be this stream is going to be a few hours, and because we have to talk about a lot with this story. All right. Damn, you said they banned your page too. What the fuck? That's crazy work. That is crazy. They banned your platform. I don't know if this I see that. Um yeah, I see that you got 77 followers. Um that is crazy work. That is crazy. That is crazy. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna see exactly what the algorithm is going to do with the platform and also for YouTube. Again, like I said, y'all, this is going to be very triggering. All right. Uh, yeah, you say yes, they cooked you. You had 5,000 followers. That's crazy. That's crazy work. And I'm gonna say this right here. Wednesday when I looked at my page and I saw this page was banned. Like, I mean, seriously, I couldn't even. They wouldn't even let me have access to the page, and I had no idea why they banned my page. But of course, I was able to do a few things, and here, we're back. So that's crazy work. Let's see, Rennie, did you appeal your ban? Did you appeal it? Hold on one second, y'all. You say you had no option. So when you appealed it, did they approve it or is still pending? You say you couldn't even log in. D folks is tripping. D folks is tripping. All right. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started. That's crazy. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started. I want y'all to pay attention to this story, all right? And again, like I said, if your life is not fully healed, this will trigger the hell out of you, all right? So let's go ahead and get started. And again, thank y'all so much for coming in, all right? Let me see. Let me make sure that the audio is going. And here we go.
At 3 years old, you wake up in the middle of the night to your mother holding a knife over your head. She's later diagnosed with bipolar disorder. You're put into foster care, and by 5 years old, your father comes to adopt you. But what was once the light at the end of a tunnel quickly turns into the nightmare of your life. Trapping Anonymous.
My father would blindfold me, and he would make me give him oral sex. He would ejaculate in my mouth.
All right. So I'm trying to see if I should do this for YouTube. God damn. Again, so y'all listen. While this video is playing, and this is for TikTok, I need y'all to tap the hell out of the screen, okay? Oh my goodness. So again, y'all see what I have. TikTok, you see what I have over here all the way at the top. This is from her own father. And YouTube, y'all see it right here. This is from her own father, all right? So again, this is going to be crazy work, all right? You said, Elena, you said on the pool, damn him. Wow. And I told y'all this is going to be triggering. All right. And for everybody that's coming in, I just got started. So we just literally just got started. Rahima, thank you so much for coming in. You said your father did the same thing, Elena. You know what? It's no words to what I have to. I have no sympathy for anyone, whether you male or female. When you allow your mind to direct you to do this type of, I got you done. Thank you so much for stopping by. And like I said, this is going to be triggering to a lot of people. But I have to do this. I have to. All right. You said in the middle of the night, got told to put your suit on. Wow. Wow. All right. All right. Let's go.
The most disgusting thing I ever went through, ever taste. I'm young. I don't know what the fuck is going on. You understand what I'm saying? I'm confused. Why is this happening to me? Why is my dad doing this to me?
What's good? My name is Chris Dowes, Trapping Anonymous. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you, everybody, as always, for supporting us and keeping this movement moving. Shout out to Breakbeat Media. Please follow Trapping Anonymous and at Chris Dowes on that Instagram. If you have somebody you know, if you want to be on the show, you can just DM me. You can email me. I do respond. And let's help continue to get these stories out to our communities. The story that we have today, I think, is very prevalent in our community. And I think that by having the uncomfortable conversations and by putting these sorts of things on Front Street, that we could help not only prevent, but we could help heal. So without no further ado, do remember that the stories that you hear do not necessarily reflect real life. They're here to entertain, educate, or just keep your little homie off the streets. It's only entertainment. Please don't get me indicted. My name is Chris Dowes. Let's get it. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so I said this in a previous episode. Just trying something new here. So first I want to start with your name and why is it important that you tell your story?
My name is Chantel Freeman, and it's very important for me to tell my story to bring awareness to the Black community, to basically bring a different light of how to handle similar situations than what I went through, and start holding people accountable. That's why I think it's important to tell my story.
Okay. So you were in foster care at a very young age.
Yes.
Let's sort of talk about that early life, why you were put up. Was it adoption or?
When I was 3 years old, me and my brother was placed into foster care because my mother was dealing with mental illness.
Before we continue this, let me read this here. All right, again, I'm not going to say a name. This individual, oh, now, Fat Boo, you okay? I'm not going to say a name. I'm just going to read this out. But thank you, Fat Boo. You okay? Thank you so much, sweetheart. Again, like I said, I do these for a reason. This individual sent me this on the 7th of this month. All right. This individual gave me their name. I'm 21 years old. I just want to say I truly appreciate the work that you do, giving people a safe space to to share their stories, to bring awareness to real life experience that are often ignored. I've been wanting to share my story for a very long time, not for pity, but to raise awareness about what really happens inside of some Christians and church-based households. There are so much that people don't see: the grooming, the emotional, the physical abuse, the microaggressions, and how it shapes a person's entire life. I was sexually assaulted at a very young age, between 3 to 16 years old, and never received an apology or acknowledgement from the people involved, including my family. When I finally spoke up, it was brushed under the rug like it didn't matter. I think it's time for people to start hearing these stories and understanding the impact this has on children growing up in environments that claim to be holy, quote unquote. I believe sharing my story could raise awareness and open people's eyes, maybe even help someone else who have been through the same thing that feels less alone. Thank you for creating a platform that gives a voice to those who've been silenced. It would truly mean a lot to have the opportunity to share mine, and they left their name. So again, this is why I do what I do. This is the third story that was shared with me just this month of individuals they're now able to say, hey, this what happened. Let me get this off my chest. The only way we're going to move forward when it comes to our personal lives, and especially you trying to get in any type of relationship in the future, and you're not healed, you have no business around no one. You shouldn't even be dating. You should not be dating, period, let alone opening your legs up to anybody. How many times, and I'm speaking to women, right? You don't put nothing in the comments. How many times have you felt uneasy with someone that you've been dealing with because of the stuff that's buried deep down inside of you that you have yet to release out to the public? Don't put nothing in the chat. How many times have you walked away from a relationship because of that burden that's still weighing down on you? And some of y'all have the audacity to have children. So what are you going to tell your children? You going to hold it in? You going to carry your children through the same bullshit that you went through? I want you to think about just that little bit I said. All right? Don't put nothing in the comments. Everything that I do is for you to take a deeper look down. Take a closer look at self. Because many times you tell yourself that you're okay. Are you? You can lie to yourself. But one thing, you can lie to the world. But how long are you going to lie to yourself?
She was diagnosed as bipolar and schizophrenic. Mm-hmm. I woke up one morning, or not morning, night. I woke up at night to my grandmother screaming. When I woke up, I saw my mother in the room with me and my brother. My brother was asleep. She was in the room with a knife, standing above us. My grandmother called the police and reported my mother, and that night we were taken into custody as far as like foster care. My grandma had the choice to take us in, but she didn't. So first we started off in a boys and girls group home. We stayed there for a couple of months. Girls was supposed to sleep on one side of the house, boys sleep on the other side of the house. Me and my brother, we weren't separated. You know, I'm thankful for that. We were basically just in foster care together. Shortly after that, we were placed inside a placement home in Pahokee. And that experience wasn't good at all. What I remember is that the foster care kids couldn't even take a bath in the same tub as, you know, the foster care parents and their biological children. We had to eat on the floor. We couldn't even join them.
What these stories that we've been covering, what is the common denominator here? What is the common denominator here? Most of these stories that we've been covering, what is the common denominator? The common denominator here is foster care, right? As Maria said, trouble home. Trouble home will lead to foster care. Roro said parents are not married. That also can lead your children to foster care. CPS, absolutely. Fat Boo said the mother. I hold that question. Let's continue.
To eat at the dinner table. We just weren't allowed to have any access to their biological kids' things. You know, of course, there was other kids there too as well that was experiencing trauma, whether it be, you know, anger or sexual, you know, abuse and stuff like that. When I was in foster care, I did experience a little boy touching on me. And we were in that situation for a few months before my father came and got us out.
Okay, so based on her body language, if y'all paid attention to her body language, when she said based on when that little boy was touching on her, experimenting on her, you know that little boy went all the way with her. A lot of times when you find women very sexually hyperactive, it comes from a deep, dark, buried place. And I'm talking about sexually active at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So when I'm listening, right, when I'm listening to y'all women speak, right, I'm going to laugh and joke with you, but I'm listening to what you trying to say or the things that you ain't saying. Because people will come on this platform and tell me what they're looking for in life in general. And most what I like to deal with is relationships and marriages. All right? All that material stuff, y'all be focused on the wrong thing. Material shit come and go. But when it comes to a woman, when she before she becomes a woman, when she's just a little girl and something has happened to her, touching, going all the way, whatever the case may be, 7 times out of 10, that young lady is very, very available to the market. And a lot of times you're going to find these young ladies, they are runaways. They end up, being sex trafficked, being used on the streets. And so when I see this stuff, even out in public where I stay, it's not the fact that I'm quick to judge, but I see what's going on the majority of the time. Some women, not most, some women would do it just because of the money. But most of these women is doing it because of a troubled past. And if it's not the streets, it's the multiple relationships. It's the multiple baby fathers. It's multiple children. It's multiple. It's always multiple. So a lot of times what these women would do is a lot of times you will find them not stable at addresses. They can keep a solid place of employment. If they do have children, they are very, very guarded of their children. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to go off. I'm based off what I've read, okay? And also, this is the biggest thing. These are some of the same women that goes from relationships to relationships or marriages to marriages. And they're the one that will initiate the breakup or the divorce. Because when they feel like that somebody has gotten too close to them, because of their closeness that they have experienced at a certain age, that will break them off. That does it right there. And a lot of times it's from somebody that knows somebody that's a close friend of the family or somebody that's a close family member. So that trust is complete, it's gone. And y'all just, even in a happy, well, y'all can say happy, but ain't no such thing as a happy marriage. When you sit there and take those vows, when y'all do that government contract, when you take those vows, nowhere in those vows it say to be happy. Because you got to understand that that's a business. Nowhere it says to be happy. I'm just letting you know. But Laura, I understand what you're saying. So this is why we've had a few people to bag away from the live, because again, this is why I have trigger warning at the top. All right, let's continue. Kim, how you doing?
Out of foster care.
Okay, so you gave us a lot there. That's why was your parents not together? So why was your mother and grandmother the only ones that had you and your brother?
I don't think my dad and my mom was a boyfriend girlfriend type of thing. When I asked her why would she entertain someone like him, she expressed me that he never even took her on a date.
Wow.
Before. So I just really feel like it was just, yeah.
So you were laying there, and then when you woke up, you saw your mom standing over you with the knife?
Yes.
Do you remember what you felt in that moment, or what?
I was petrified.
Right.
I was scared, like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, I hear my grandma screaming, and, during that time, I didn't know what the fuck mental illness was.
Right.
I was little,
Right.
So that's when I started seeing the mental illness from that night moving forward. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So at what point would you say that your father came to get you from foster care? How old were you?
I was between 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
I was little, yeah.
Did he ever express why he wanted to now come get his children, or sort of like, why did he choose now to come get his children? I'm like 4 or 5 years old. Like, if you wanted your kids, I'm sure like that's something.
Exactly. I don't know why. I mean, I kind of know why he came and got us out of foster care. Mm-hmm. I feel like, it was a beneficial thing for him, because my mother was getting SSI checks for me and my brother, which of course, I didn't know about until I got older. And then plus it was an easy grab. My mom dealing with mental illness, he really ain't got to go through no courts to, deem her to be a bad parent. She's already on paper that, she's not mentally stable to be a parent. So
Right.
I feel like it was just an easy grab for him that he could just take us from her.
Yeah, sort of have the, single dad with the kids sort of situation.
It's like an image to him, That's how he manipulates his victims. He wants that image of, I'm a single father, I work hard for my kids, when you don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what is life like as soon as you move in with your dad?
So I moved in with my dad between 4 or 5 years old. We were living in a 2-bedroom apartment with me and my brothers. The first few months was fine. But then there was another side of him that just started to come out, that it wasn't good for us. My dad was abusive.
So physically, verbally?
Physically, emotionally, mentally, anything you can name of, he did it.
All right, let me ask you all this. All right, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. All right. Again, this is all for a survey. How many of you all grew up in a household to where either your father or your mother was, I'm not going to say verbally abusive, that you deem abusive in any kind of way? And I'm not talking about no whoopings, none of that shit. I'm talking about actual abuse to where, either law enforcement was called or certain things took place to where you had to go stay with someone else. All right? Elena, I see you. Nicole, I see you. Sparkle, I see you. Kelly, I see you. Shandu, I see you. It's crazy. Ava, how you doing? All right, this is all for a survey. All right? All right.
So I'm assuming that, like, beat you with like things and
Yeah.
hit you.
Yeah.
When does the sexual abuse start?
When I was 5 years old.
What happened?
See, now this shit right here, now this is when I was listening to this, this is when I started. This is when the pissed off great vibes was just looking at this video, and I probably threw my phone about 3 or 4 times. She said this started when she was 5. Five years old.
I remember my birthday was coming up, and my father told me to come in his room. It was just little things that he would do that made me feel really uncomfortable. Like the grooming part. And my dad would always make an excuse that he was checking me to make sure I wasn't doing anything.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Listen, what the fuck can a grown man check for? Official King, how you doing? That a grown man can check for on a little girl when she's 5. She's 5 years old. That she's not doing anything. She's 5. And even even if you suspect anything, this is when you take your daughter to LeBarner or y'all private doctor. What the hell are you going to check for for a 5-year-old little girl?
At that young age, that was just his way of, like I said, grooming and coming in to do whatever. But my dad started touching me when I was 5, and he would blindfold me. It didn't start as, intercourse. Of course, it started off as him making me give him oral sex, and my father would blindfold me, and he would make me give him oral sex.
All right, I got to pause it right there again because TikTok guidelines. You said, Fat Boo said, at 5 years old, I can't even explain to you what was going on. I don't remember anything. Well, that's a lie. I can remember when I was in kindergarten. My kindergarten teacher, her name was Miss Cox, and I remember a few things. One thing I remember is me boo-booing on myself. We went on the field trip to the zoo. Yep, and that's a true story. I boo-booed on myself. I sure did. Going to the zoo. I do remember that in kindergarten. However, not trying to take away from what's going on here. Laura, thank you so much for the hand hearts. You mean to tell me that her own father, number one is he got her from the foster care system, reclaimed his daughter, took her home, as he should, but not understanding what type of father that she was dealing with. I mean, what child know what type of father their father is? Every little girl that looks up at her father, she look at him as her hero. I want my man to be just like my father. And I'm talking about the fathers that was in the home. I want my man to be just like my father. This is what little girls are thinking, right? Like preteen, and most of the times your daughter, right? The little girl, your daughter is normally you're her first love. And normally when it comes to the sons, their mother is their first love. So how you treat them is very important. How you talk to them is very, very longevity. This is why it's important for us to, when we're talking to our children, when we're looking at our daughters and looking at our sons, they remember this shit forever, whether it's good or whether it's bad. So you mean to tell me that this young lady that we're listening to, her biological father started touching her, looking between her legs, allegedly, at the age of 5, because he was checking to see if she was doing something at 5 years old. She could not defend herself. She didn't know what was going on. She thinking this shit is normal. Hey, my dad is checking me. All right, he's checking me because what the fuck is going on through a 5-year-old's head? More than likely, she just laying there just like, hey, this is normal. But you checking to see if she's doing something? And then on top of that, you blindfolded this young lady, allegedly. This little girl. And had her to put her mouth on you at 5. So Elena, you said this is why you don't trust men. I'm a work on I guess you want to say you're a work in progress. And Elena, You heard me say this. This is why women find it so hard to get closely attached with men. All right, we'll deal with the men on another day. But this is why it's so hard. If you haven't taken the time out to work on self, to redevelop yourself, to get some professional help so they can help you work on you, because you're not going to forget, but at least they can give you the help, give you guidelines, different tasks that you can do to kind of, balance some of that out. Because I know plenty of women that's married, right? Got a beautiful life. That's what they say. That has been through, similar situations. But if you don't take the time out to work on self, you just going to work every day, or you going to college. When you go to college, you graduate from this college and you go to another college. Some of y'all women be in colleges in your 30s and 40s and 50s. It's like it never stop. The question is what are you running from? Some of y'all turn y'all work into y'all careers. Ain't no such thing. I'll explain that shit later. And y'all try to work. Y'all buy all this lavish stuff and buy these nice cars and these nice homes. Why? It's because you are running from life. So you are using material possessions to replace that deep hurt, to cover up this hurt that's going on in his. The hurt is so deep on the inside, you fail to deal with that shit on the inside to where you got to make life good on the outside. So when y'all come up here, well, when I was dealing with that, when I had women come on my platform, and the first thing I do is I tell me about you. When they start telling me about their careers and all this money and all these clothes and what they this lavish lifestyle, yeah, motherfucker, you running from something. You're running from something. So we got to ask what they're running from is. You can only bury things for so long. All right? Let's continue.
He would ejaculate in my mouth.
Again, trigger warning. Y'all don't worry about the numbers. And TikTok, remember, this platform was banned. This platform was banned. So TikTok is not even pushing the platform out. But we'll get past that probably Monday or Tuesday. All right. Again, Maria, you said they trying to fill a void. And now we're talking about a very deep void. You said what she just said just hit you in your soul. Yeah. Randy, yes, they banned my platform. My main platform. When I went on Wednesday to try to move some things around on my main platform, it was banned. It was gone. So I had to kind of work some things to get my platform back. So this wasn't the first time that this happened. Okay, it's probably like since I've had this platform, it's probably like the fourth time this happened. It was banned. So when you go back live, like actually go live, they're not going to push the platform. It's like testing the waters, right? So they're not going to push it. They're not going to do nothing. So I got to do this for 3 days in a row to kind of push and push and push before they give me the green light and they push it out to the masses, all right? But anyway, again, y'all use material possessions to cover up these deep wounds on the inside. This is why you hear people will say, childhood trauma. You're running, and y'all think that going to these churches, you get down on your knees and praying is going to heal this pain. And again, I'll explain that later. And I'm not trying to take nothing from you all, but you got to ask yourself this right here. The steps that I'm taking right now, I'm you, okay? I'm you without the long hair and the thing. The punani. The steps that I'm taking right now, hasn't it worked for me in the past 5 years? And you got to weigh out your pros and your cons. But again, some of y'all would do that, right? Some of y'all will do that. But you know, while you doing that, you're lying to yourself. It's very easy for you to lie to yourself. Sometimes y'all will tell a lie so long to where you will believe the lie and it becomes your truth. So after a while, when you speak it, it sounds like the truth to you. So now you're speaking in a way, thank you, Pamela, you're speaking in a way to try to convince everybody else that you're okay. Are you?
The most disgusting thing I ever went through, ever taste. I'm young. I don't know what the fuck is going on. You understand what I'm saying? I'm confused. Why is this happening to me? Why is my dad doing this to me? My dad continued to touch on me. My dad continued to rape me. No matter how many times I told him no.
Y'all, this is tough to watch. Listen, y'all. Listen to this right here. Y'all pay attention to what I'm about to say. A lot of people was asking me why was I covering Tori Outlaw for so long. All right. Number one is Mama told me to, but even before I spoke to the mother, when you hear somebody like her talk about different things that they have experienced in the past from multiple people, you can clearly see that it was almost like that what she was talking about, she was very numb. She wasn't affected by it. She was freelancing. She was just talking. No emotions behind it, right? And I always told y'all, read the body language. When I was watching this video earlier and looking at her, I'm watching everything before I brought it to you all because, again, people get on the internet to scam, right? So as I'm listening to her story, y'all, I don't know if y'all caught it, but her bottom lip was shaking, just like my finger. Her bottom lip was shaking. A lot of times when somebody have been through something, you will have what you call uncontrollable tears. While you're talking about it, you're reliving that situation right then and there. It's like a movie theater right in front of you. So I can be looking at you talking, but I'm reliving the movie. I'm watching this movie as I'm telling this story. So it's like I'm walking head on. It's right here in my face. And you can't control that. You cannot control that. So now that the movie is playing, what you gonna do, bag? You gonna shut it off? No, it's right there. This the only way for you. This the only thing for you to move to the next step in your journey. Whatever has happened to you in the past, the first thing to do is start talking about it. Start talking about it. Some people, they're good at writing. Write it down. Talk, speak. But you got to understand, when you speak, you are releasing.
No matter how many times I told him no, that did not stop him and be like, oh shit, this is my daughter. Why am I doing this? You know? But, as I got older.
Okay, really quickly. Mm-hmm. So, how often would this go on? It's 5 years old. How often would this go on?
I don't really remember how often that young, but I do remember how often as I got older. But when it first started, it wasn't that often. I would say probably one time out of the week, or if he had any opportunity to like do it and get away with it, because his woman at the time, she would work at night. So he had every opportunity to sneak in my room and do whatever he wanted to do, you know? But
hold on, I missed that. Did she say his woman? So her father was dating. I missed that one. Okay.
as a child, it wasn't as much until I got older.
Okay.
Let me tell y'all something. Y'all see how her arms are closed in right here? Right? You see how she's keeping herself closed in? Body language. Right now, anytime somebody hold their arms like that while they're talking, it's like a form of protection. That's why sometimes when people talk, yes, protective mode. That's why sometimes when people talk, they either, especially when they're telling their stories, they either hold their arms like that, or you'll see them, they constantly moving, right? They can't stay still because it's right there. Right? This person that did this to you, they're touching you again. Do that make sense? They're touching you again right then and there. It's like you're looking at them. So it's like this time you're not gonna get me. I'm gonna hold myself together because you're not winning this time. And I'm gonna get it out. All right, let's continue.
5-year-old child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your dad is raping you and forcing you to do these sort of things. If you can you go back to sort of that child mindset that you had? What are you thinking? What are you thinking about your household? Are you thinking like this is like normal? Are you thinking like this is still my father? He is my protector. He is supposed to be taking care of me. Like sort of that confusion that he's now put into your mind. Mm-hmm. Could you speak on that a little bit?
Of course. It made me feel confused. It made me, feel like out of body experience, like I was frozen. Just thinking like, why me? Like, why would he do this to me? I already don't have my mom. He was supposed to protect me, not rape me. So I just remember like being that young, just being confused and just not even want to be around him anymore. I didn't feel safe.
What do you remember most about the abuse?
I remember I would tell this man no. I would beg him no. I would beg him like, I didn't want to do that. It didn't matter like if I played sleep. It didn't matter what he would drag me out my room.
God damn.
It was things he would tell me that was just completely just out of line,
Mm. Things like what?
Like as when I got older, like he would whisper in my ear, tell me how he would get jealous when I started dating other guys. How he would get jealous when I started dating other guys.
Shandu, I understand. Her own father is telling her he get jealous when she was starting to talk to other boys. Pamela said on YouTube said, Lord help me. My mom said her dad was kind of like that. If y'all can, while y'all tapping the screen, listen, real quick, I'm going to let everybody just take a deep breath right now because, again, I told y'all this is triggering, all right? So I just need everybody to tap the screen right now, share it out. Kessler, how you doing? Thank you so much for coming in. If y'all can, y'all do me a favor. Y'all see that what's pinned at the bottom of the screen? Who did that? Laura, thank you again for the hand hearts. If y'all can, y'all, let's try to meet this live goal. All right? Well, for everybody that has given, thank you so much. Lamille, thank you so much for the daily heart meet. Celeste, Ava, also thank you so much for the rose. Ava, thank you so much for you're awesome. I appreciate it. So I appreciate everybody that has given so far. Pamela says she's getting a headache. Wow. Again, it's triggering. You say, yes, you and your brother felt like her dad touched her. Wait, what? Yes, me and my brother felt, y'all, TikTok, I'm trying to read this chat right here. Yes, me and my brother felt like her dad touched her. We do because of how she couldn't stand him. Again, I told y'all, when it's not things like things that's in the home and nothing that's sexually, you know, I'm a big thing. You know, what goes in the what goes on here in the family stays here in the family. All right, the world don't need to know what's going on inside your home. I'm cool with that. But if you are being sexually abused by your mother or either your father or even your brother, you need to tell someone. That whole whatever goes on in the family stays in the family. No, that shit goes out the window. Stop teaching your kids that shit. If you are being sexually abused inside of your home, that shit needs to be addressed outside the home. Because I guarantee you when that happens, somebody from the outside is going to come in on the inside. And they're going to stir up some things on the inside. That way people on the outside is going to hear it. Peanut, how you doing? Good to see you. Don't worry about the numbers. TikTok got us in punishment right now. We are on punishment. We just got the page back. we was banned. I don't know why. Smile said, she said, this is very triggering. It is. It is.
And, you know, put me on birth control at a real young age.
Yes, Peanut. So again, for 3 days, I'm gonna be locked down like this. TikTok is not gonna push it out for 3 days. I've been through this. I've been through this before, so I kind of know how this works. All right, so hold on. She just said something. Let's see. Let's go to 14. Y'all listen to this.
How he would get jealous when I started dating other guys and, you know, put me on birth control at a real young age because he was afraid he was going to get me pregnant.
Oh. Yeah. Your father put you on birth control so he would not get you pregnant. Yeah, Peanut, that's the noise you heard when you shared it out. When you shared it out, that's the noise you heard in the background. Yeah, Fat Boo says so he knew what he was doing, punk bitch. Yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh my God.
Making me take pregnancy tests in the gas station when I was only 11 years old.
Okay. Okay, before we get there, your father goes to jail.
Yes. Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
My father goes to jail. He was sentenced for 3 years in prison because I basically told the police the truth. My father was married to this young lady. I don't want to say her name, but he was jealous over the fact that she was at our neighbor's house during the time, and so he went over there and shot his gun in the air and dragged his wife at the time from outside back into the house until he ripped off all of her clothes. I mean, he dragging her from outside into the house. She's naked by the time she hit the front door. He done ripped her all her clothes. I'm watching him drag this woman, beating the fuck out of her, beating her naked. She's screaming. So, of course, her brother pull up and, you know, they start tussling to fight or whatever. So they run inside the room. Now, I didn't know, she was pregnant at this time.
Wow.
So my father, he's trying to get at her, trying to beat down the door. He actually broke down the door. I'm a child. I open up my door. I look in. I look out my door to see what the fuck going on. He tell me, close the motherfucking door and mind your goddamn business. So I'm crying. I'm scared, So the police come, whatever. And, I was never known to be a liar, even when I was a little kid. And, I only knew to tell the truth. So when the police asked me what happened, I told him the truth. So he got sentenced to 3 years.
Wow. So you were sort of the catalyst for that sentencing to happen. When your father goes to jail, how old are you at this time?
Between 9 and 10 when he went to prison.
So how old were you?
When he went to prison? I was like between 9 and 10 when he went to prison.
Between 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so the abuse had already started from 5.
Oh yeah, from 5. From when he first got custody of us, the abuse started real heavy. I remember when I was 5 years old, he had me and my brother take a stand in court. So my dad, he have this thing where he likes to go after women that's not financially stable, that don't have the means or the knowledge of how to protect themselves. He likes to use the law as his weapon. So he would go after these unfortunate women, manipulate them, play them, get them pregnant, and then he'll take their kid away. He'll take them to court and take their kid away.
What type of sick shit is
Just so
this?
he can get child support, any type of benefits,
Right.
you name it. So
Wait. 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 Wait a minute here. Wait a minute. Hold on. Everybody put your brakes on. Let's stop. You mean to tell me it's men out here, and what she's explaining, this probably less than 1% of men that probably do some shit like this. Probably less than 1%, right? I didn't know this shit exists. I didn't know this. Now, I know women, a lot of women do this shit. But men, you don't hear this. You go after women that with their finances are not stable. How about that? You get them pregnant. You put them, wait a minute. How? How does that work? You take them to court and you get full custody of your child, then you turn around and put them on child support? I gotta look into that one. I gotta look into that. Yeah, Peanut, you say you confused. I'm very confused. Because again, once again, you don't hear men even have a conversation. We don't do that. Do a lot of women do that? Yes, but men, the fuck? That's a new one. Okay, you learn something new every day.
He had this one, I'm gonna call it Haitian lady. Which was my sister mother. When my sister was little, my father was trying to take her from her mother for no reason. My dad had my sister for like, 2 weeks? Next thing you know, we waking up, police pulling up all in front of the house, 10 police lined up down the goddamn street. This in Florida. Made a long story short, of course, they got to go to court for custody. He tells my brothers, he coached them what to say, how to lie on the stand and shit like that. Well, it was my turn as a 5-year-old. When I took that stand, I told the truth. I told the truth about everything. He wanted us to say that she was a bad mother so she can lose my sister, so he can have custody of her. I told the truth. I told the judge she wasn't a bad mom. She was a good person. And because of my testimony, it kind of changed every fucking thing. So I feel like because of that, that's the reason why my father started molesting me and raping me, to show like as a form of punishment that how dare you go against me. I feel like that's one of the main reasons why he did that, or started to rape me and molest me.
All right, everybody do me a favor. Start tapping the screen. Damn. All right, thank you for that backstory, because I needed to hear that one. What you say, you said, Lord, what was he doing? Hold on. Lord knows what he was doing to his sons too, shaking your head. Thank y'all so much for tapping the screen. I appreciate it. Kelly, thank you so much for liking the live. Peanut, thank you so much for liking the live. Again, Peanut, thank you so much for the Go Popular and also the Heart Me. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let's go. Let's get it.
Wow. And that truth, right? That was prevalent at 5 years old and came back into play around 9 years old.
Yeah.
And even till today is still, I think, the most important and superpower that you have, right? Even coming here telling the truth.
Right.
When he gets locked up at age 9, do you remember feeling guilty? Was there animosity? Was there joy? What did you feel when they sentenced your father?
I felt free.
Wow.
I felt fucking free.
Shandu, thank you so much for the big ass.
That he was no longer around me. I didn't have to worry about him coming in my room at night. I felt safe.
Where did you go?
My mama had got custody of us.
Okay.
So we went back into her custody. I guess she had to take like classes and stuff like that to show, and take her medicine to show that she.
Okay, so now she's back into the care of her mother, the kids. And remember, at the beginning, she said that they took them away from the mother because of the bipolar disorder that the mother had. And she was, when she stood over her children with a knife. So they took her children away from her. From the mother, placed them into foster care. The father came and got them from foster care. And now the father is doing what he's doing to his daughter since the age of 5. Now she's 9. The father is locked up for more than likely battery. And also aggravated assault, simply because she was pregnant. All right? Don't worry, Pamela. That's why I did that. I got you. Miss Kitty, how you doing?
Can be, a stable parent. So I guess she went and took those measures. I mean, that was good for a little while until she got herself a little husband. Nothing happened with him, but it was just a lot of, I guess, just bullshit on his end.
Right.
Like he wasn't the nigga for my mama, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like he just wasn't. So we lived with my mom for about 3 years, because my dad was in prison for 3 years.
What are those years like?
Even though we were living somewhat in the hood, I would say that's probably like the best childhood I had. You know, I remember getting our bicycles, going outside and going across the train tracks, got all the neighborhood kids lined up the bike against the road, and, you know, we just having fun, you know, just being outside, no tablets, no fucking social media, just being kids. Like, that was like the best part of my childhood.
See that's the childhood a lot of people don't a lot of people don't like, you know, they don't remember, especially y'all new ones. Y'all newcomers, y'all different. And I blame that. And don't worry, it ain't your fault, it's your parents' fault. But how many of you all remember the times where we used to ride our bikes, and you could tell what house everybody was over because you see the bikes parked in the front in the driveway, or they're laying over in the yard. Where y'all, the party's going on over there because that's where the bike's located. You know, I remember we remember. And the only, you know, tablets that we had growing up was video games. But we all did it together. It wasn't anything online. Like you had to go to your friend's house to have fun. That's when you know your social skills was very proactive. That's why now people's social lives are so fucked up. That's why it's so hard for people when they get out in public. They can't have a decent conversation face to face because of social media and the technology that we have now. Everything is done over the computer. Everything is done through your tablet. Everything is done through your cell phone. So when you try to speak or have a conversation with someone face to face, it feels awkward. You say, and you find out weird you find out how weird their families are. And the deal is, if anything happens in the neighborhood, trust me, people are going to know about it. Wait a minute. Ain't you Cheryl's son? Wait a minute. Ain't you Mandy's daughter? Everybody knew everybody because we had to go over your house. We had to go over your house. You said this is the first neighborhood I've seen, I've been in where the kids constantly outside playing makes you happy. It makes you feel good.
It was when I was living with my mom low-key. My mom allowed us to be kids, even though she had her own mental issues going on. She allowed us to be kids overall.
Interesting. That's the first time I've seen you smile during the interview.
I love my mom, man. I don't hate my mom at all for the decision she made.
Right.
You know, but we'll get into that. Yeah.
Well, it seems like things were looking on the up, right? And that part of your childhood, you are beginning to become a kid and be a kid and have fun and have those sort of memories.
Hold on, I gotta call somebody out. Yep, my moderator. Mercury, where is your picture? Where is your profile picture? Mercury had a whole week to put a profile picture on the page. I know I did, Fat Boo. I said it a whole week ago. No, actually, it's been a little bit more than, it's been about a week, maybe about a week and a few days. I need a profile picture on your page as a moderator. Now we get here 8 days later in the comments, hey, Great Vibes, I still see the same picture. I said, you know what? I'm going to send your ass back to Mercury. Keep playing with me. Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, whatever the fuck is out there. She said, which photo I'm going to use? You had to type your thought. You had to type your thought. You had to type your thought. Oh, God, this is good. You can't make this shit up. All right, y'all, let's continue.
But you're not in the clear yet. You're not in the clear yet. What happens after those 3 years?
So my brother decides to reach out to my father. I guess basically telling him he wanted to move in with him and stuff like that. So my brother started like sneaking off, you know, to go see my dad or whatever. And I would never go. I would never go. And so my mother, she stopped taking her medicine again. My mother stopped taking her medicine again. You know, she's a schizophrenic, so she's hearing voices. She's cutting the cables out the TV. She thinks somebody's watching her, you know. And now it's starting to get uncomfortable living with her because it's like, damn, you know, you act hectic. So you saying all this shit that I don't even see. You saying, you know, people watching you through TVs and shit. Where are they? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see it. So it started.
Shout outs to Kenzie. Kenzie, thank you so much for lurking. Thank you so much for sticking your head in the dough. Thank you so much for peeking in. Thank you. As year to date, y'all, just to remind you all, Kenzie was one of our hugest donators on YouTube. So, Kenzie, thank you so much for sticking your head inside the door. Hell, you knocked, and then you stuck your head in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming by. Shout outs to YouTube.
It become real stressful living with her, but you know, my father popped up and my mother was like, yeah, you can take him. Wow. That's at 9.
Huh?
That's at 9. I was 9 years old at that time, yeah. Yep. She said he could take us. So we go move back in with him. Of course, you know, everything seems fine in the beginning, but, you know, things start turning yet again. I'm trying to remember. Okay, so yeah, we were still living in Florida during this time. And the sexual abuse didn't start up, not immediately, but it started up again. And I remember me and him was in the kitchen. And during this time, you know, he's out of prison, so he's kind of hearing, I don't want to skip anything, I'm sorry.
It's fine, you take your time.
Okay, so when he got out of prison, I believe I was 11. Yeah, I was 11 during that time. So when he got out of prison, I was getting the times mixed up. So when he got out of prison, I believe I was like 11 years old. So we moved in with him. We living in Florida. And, you know, I remember me and him was in the kitchen, and then he was telling me basically what I liked as far as like in a guy or in a man or whatever. And he was basically telling me that if I ever had urges, that he would rather for me to come to him than to get it outside. So, of course,
this motherfucker is sick. This motherfucker is sick.
of course, I'm like, why the fuck would he like tell me that? Like, why would you want to know like what type of guy I like? Like, why would you tell me if I have any urges to come to you? Like, trying to make it seem like this is normal. Telling me that, oh, this happened in other households all the time. You know, there's people that's in class with you that's probably going through the same thing, and look, they're not hurt. And he would just make it seem like it was okay because he wasn't hurting me, that he was, you know, nice and soft and not force me, but in reality you were forcing me. Just because you wasn't, you know, like hardcore raping me to feel so I could feel pain, I was still feeling the damage that he caused to me. You know, you're supposed to be my father. How could you How could you sleep with someone and create a whole child and look at your child? I look like him.
Yeah.
How could you look at me and say I want to fuck my daughter? Or
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's hard to hear this shit. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. Just give me a second. This shit is sick. Cause right now she's still trying to make sense of it. Like I'm your daughter. I look just like you. How could you fathom your mind around putting yourself inside of what of you? I came from you. I came from you.
or not even daughter, because he never even looked at me as a daughter. He really looked at me as his bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was never his daughter. For him to be able to do the things that he was doing, I was never his daughter. He always looked at me as his bitch.
So after that conversation, what do you sort of feel? Do you feel like, well, no, Dad, I don't want to come to you for these sort of things? Or do you feel like you sort of have to continue to start that sort of cycle back up with your dad because he's telling you essentially
No.
you have to do it?
No, I always told my dad no. Like, he was come in my room, sneak in my room or whatever, tell me, psst, get up, get up, get up. And I'd be like, sometimes I don't say shit. Like, I literally be like laying there, like act like damn near dead. You know what I'm saying? This nigga would get my leg, my ankle, and drag me. He would get my arm and drag me out the room. I had no choice. You get what I'm saying? So it was like, during that time, nothing I could have said to have stopped him.
When did you lose your virginity?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't. I don't.
But at some point, your father stops.
My dad found out I wasn't a virgin no more. And I'm trying to think. Because a lot of this stuff I had tried to mentally block out my head.
No, I don't blame you.
Well, my dad found out I wasn't a virgin no more. And let me just say this. My father wasn't the only person that was touching me. My two older brothers was as well.
Everybody tap the screen. You said you kind of seen that coming. So not only her father was messing with her, now it's the yeah, I had to hit my vape. Um, Now her brothers, his sons, brothers, was messing with her too. That's crazy. Let's continue.
And that's why I can't tell you. I don't remember when I lost my virginity. I don't know. I don't know if it was one of my brothers. I don't know if it was my dad. I don't know. I don't know. But what my father did find out when he checked me, when he saw that my hymen wasn't no longer attached, my father started to full gauge, have full blown sex with me. He started having sex with me without no condom, without no nothing. And this nigga got 17 children, 13 baby mamas. You sleeping with everybody in the whole motherfucking world, and you're not even, like, at least put a condom on. Like, you literally, like, risking my whole entire fucking life, you know?
You said not once did her brothers protect or shelter her. That's why I figured that was coming. So this man got a bunch of kids. What she say? 13, 18 baby mamas, something like that. And you're messing with your daughter. You said men are trained to do this. So obviously the boys learned this from his father, from their father, and he learned it from somebody. This is why I be telling women it's very important you be careful who you have, who you lay down and mess, you know. Mm, man. Mhm. Mhm. The stuff that's going through my head is illegal. um, Again, this is why I tell y'all women, be careful. Um, you know, a lot of times when you vet men and it's going to be long term, make sure that you introduce that man, you know, to your father, you know, or to your uncle, somebody that you look up to in your family. Because men, we can read other men, but because y'all be so desperate, you lay down with whoever and don't know who the fuck you laying down with, and not understanding that you could create things, you can create this stuff. Energy is very important. Energy never dies. It's just it transfers.
And so yeah, he would start having sex with me, and during those times, like I'm approaching high school now. You know, I'm in the 8th grade, 9th grade, and it was one time because I would never look my father in his face
You
when
can't.
he was on top of me. I
Come
just
on, man.
couldn't.
Come on, man. Come on. Damn. Come on.
I just couldn't look at him. But it was this one night I looked at him, and it was like his eyes was closed the whole entire time. It was like he just couldn't look at me, you know? It was like he couldn't face the person who he was doing it with. But at the same time, he wanted to get that nut.
Shit is fucking.
Kelly said, "Yup, my older cousin, got away with it until my grandmother, caught him."
Disgusting, yo. Oh my god, this nigga.
Yeah.
You told me that one time your brother walked in on you laying up in the bed with your dad.
Yeah.
Not only am I flabbergasted by the act, totally mortified by the act, but he laying up in the bed with you, you know, like,
Yeah. My father told me we were living in Florida still during this time. His girlfriend at the time was a RN, so she worked overnight. And his room was on the other side of the hallway. My room was on the other side of the hallway. This was a 3-story townhouse. So you have one bedroom all the way on the first floor, then you got the second floor. It was beautiful. You had the living room.
it's not the hood that your mother was living in.
No. One thing about my father that I can say is that I only seen him work. I only seen that nigga work. No matter what health state he was in, I always saw him work. So living with my father, we had a better, well, financially.
Suburbs,
yeah. A better education, better, stuff like that with my father. So no, we were never living like
But
in the
of
hood or
course.
anything like that. Yeah. You forget.
So your brother walks in.
Okay, so we're living in Florida at this time. We live in a townhouse, and my father, like I said, my father's room was right here. Then you walk down the hallway, my room was right there. So me and his room is the only room upstairs on the 3rd floor. So he calls me into his room, and at first he has me laying in the bed with him, and he has the TV on and stuff like that. And he heard footsteps coming up the stairs, and this is my older brother, the same brother that would touch on me too. So as you can kind of put 2 to 2 together, why he was upstairs.
Looking for you.
So my father tells me.
So, okay. So she's in the bed with her father. More than likely got finished doing what he was doing, and now they're laying there watching TV. The oldest brother was looking for her so he can, start back touching on her. But he can't do it because she's in the bed with her father.
Me to hurry up and sit on the floor at the foot of the bed, act like I'm watching TV. So he opens up the door, and sure enough, that's my brother. So I'm looking at my brother like, nigga, help me.
Asking for help for someone that is also abusing you.
And I forgive my brothers.
At any point you want to break or stop, we could. Okay.
I forgive my brothers because I understand that the same thing happened to them. And one thing about trauma, the cycle continues to go on and on and on through generations and generations when you have to be that person to break them. You have to be that person to break them. So I was never mad at my 2 brothers.
It's crazy, right?
I was never mad at them because I walked in on my big sister on my mom's side molesting my big brother.
Doing what to him?
I remember I was probably 4 years old around this time. I remember waking up. See, I would always sleep in my grandmother's room. She was a nurse, overnight nurse. And I woke up to go use the bathroom, and I remember opening the door, and my big sister was laying on the floor while she had my big brother giving her head on the bathroom floor.
What?
And
Whoa.
again,
Whoa. Back the fuck up.
woke up to go use the bathroom, and I remember opening the door, and my big sister was laying on the floor while she had my big brother giving her head on the bathroom floor.
What the fuck?
And again, me not knowing what the fuck is going on, I'm just like confused, you know? So I walk out. Did they stop? No.
What?
She didn't make him stop. She wasn't like, oh shit, none of that. Like, I walked in, saw the shit, and like, I walked the fuck out. Like, she didn't make him stop, nothing.
This is like.
You said it, Fat Boo. This whole family is just sick. It's the whole fucking family. The whole fucking family is sick.
Like a cycle with everybody in this.
It's a cancer. It's a cancer that is spreading all through my dad's side of the family and also some of my mom's side of the family. It's a cancer that I would no longer deal with.
Okay. Let's break these cycles and generational curses. What sorts of things were your brothers doing to you?
My older brother, he's the number one out the bunch of 17, 18 kids. My brother, at first, he would just make me give him oral. But then as I got older, it started to gradually become into a full penetration.
Unprotected.
Yep.
How long does this go on for?
It went on for, with my older brother, it went on for a couple years. And my father knew about it.
What?
That's the sick shit. My father fucking knew about it. And to him, he looked at it as like a perfect opportunity to cover him of what he was doing with me and blame everything on my brother. Like, to my, oh yeah, she fucking him. She ain't fucking me.
What? He would say that? How did he find out?
I told him.
You told him? How'd that conversation go?
I told him. I just sat here and told him that my brother was touching me. And he made it seem like I wanted it. He made it seem like I enjoyed it and I wanted it, and he would never have done that to me if I didn't give him that invitation. But how the fuck would I give him that invitation when I'm a little ass girl? He was a teenager, 14, 13 years old at the time. And you know, so it was rumors that my father was also touching my brother too as well. I don't know for that to be sure, but I definitely watched my dad beat the fuck out of my older brother, like knock him unconscious type shit. I have definitely witnessed that. My dad is just an evil piece of shit of a human.
When was the last day he touched you?
Can I tell you how powerful God is?
Please.
The first time I called out for God, I was a freshman in high school. The first time I called out for God was the last time that man touched me. This man on top of me, raping me. And what made me call out for God, Chris, is that the night previously of him touching me, my body gave him a reaction that I didn't want. My body gave him a reaction I didn't want. I felt like my body felt me. I had an orgasm when my father was giving me head. And I just felt so disgusted. I felt like his demons was coming onto me, and I didn't want that shit. I don't want to fight his demons. I don't want I didn't want to be. Become that. So the last time this man touched me, I was a freshman in high school. I was going to Richland Hills High School. He pulled me in his room like normal, and something in my spirit just call out for God, bro. I was begging my father. I said, please stop, please stop. I said, this is not normal. This is not normal. I said, God, please help me. I said, God, please help me. This is not normal. After that, he still got his nut, but he promised me he would never touch me again. He never touched me again after that. No one didn't touch me again after that.
Power of God. Oh, shit.
I have told numerous of people. I have told a lot of people in my family. And one thing I do want to bring awareness to is these goddamn women and these fucking families. These children coming up to y'all telling y'all that shit is happening. Y'all rather protect the child molester than to protect the child. Stop saying these kids are lying. These kids is not lying. Kids don't know how to lie, to be honest with you, unless they're taught. Kids gonna tell you the truth, ugly, whatever. It ain't no filter with children. So my thing is, when a child tells an adult something, to listen to it. If you see a little girl and she's acting promiscuous or she's doing things, look at the root of the cause. Don't look at she's out here, whatever she's doing, sucking dick, fucking, whatever. Look at the root of the cause. What happened? Was she exposed? Did something happen to her for her to start acting promiscuous? Because with me, when it comes to a child that is being sexually abused, two things will happen. One, that child could either become the abuser, or two, that child would become promiscuous. And I became promiscuous at a very young age. I was having sex. I was wow. You know what I'm saying? At a very young age. So because of my trauma and what I was exposed to.
Do you hate your father?
Yeah, I hate him. I hate him. I want any tears that would drop if they tell me he would have died would be tears of joy. And I don't regret saying that.
You move out. You get pregnant.
Yep.
Kind of off on your own.
Man, this is when I was telling y'all, a lot of times when this happened to little girls, this is when the pregnancy comes in. This is when the pregnancy comes in. And now she's pregnant.
Yep. Homeless with a newborn because of my father.
And how was your relationship? What was that like?
With who?
The father of your child. Were you with the father of your child, or were you with?
No. He came into play because me and my high school sweetheart, we didn't work out anymore.
Shit happens.
And I was so in love with that boy, but we had the same last name. I was like, that's my husband. Kind of lost my train of thought, but
So you ended up having a child because it didn't work out.
yeah. So my high school sweetheart, we didn't work out. So in between that time, my child's father was trying to reach me or whatever, and I wasn't really interested. But
Caught you when you was weak.
yeah. So now that I'm vulnerable and shit like that, I'm like, fuck it, let's link up. So
You got pregnant.
I got pregnant. And I got pregnant right before and I was pregnant because I was planning on breaking it off with him. I'm like, nigga, I'm trying to go to college. I'm letting you shoot up the club and shit. I'm not supposed to be doing this, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then next thing you know, I'm pregnant. So.
What age was that?
20 years old.
20 years old.
Yeah.
Before we continue, your father put you on birth control.
At 15.
What do you remember about that day?
I remember what he said before that day came.
Okay.
Hey, Miss Shannon.
I remember my father was molesting me. He was raping me. And he had this fear of getting me pregnant. So I remember him whispering in my ear, telling me that I can't wait to put you on birth control so I won't worry about you getting pregnant. And that's exactly what he did. But when he put me on birth control, of course, other family members asking him, well, why are you putting her on birth control at 15? He's making it seem like I'm just out of control, being a slut or whatever. But during that time, you're the only one that's fucking me. So, yeah.
Take you to the doctor?
Yep. Take me to the doctor. I get the implant on. I got the scar on my arm still. That lasts about 3 years. I can't say if my father ever took it that far to, like,
Ejaculating you?
I can't say if he did, but he definitely put me on birth control to prevent any, Because, if he gets me pregnant, then he can't lie about that, so, yeah.
No, he cannot.
No,
That
he
is,
cannot.
that is black and white. Okay, let's jump back. 20 years old, you have a kid. Things obviously don't work out with him. He was a rebound. You start dating a guy. Things are going pretty good with you.
Yeah, so this is my first relationship.
Right.
Julian, I guess I'll say his name. Me and Julian, we last for almost 2 years. And I don't have anything bad to say about Julian. He was a great guy. He met me when I was 6 months pregnant. He took his time with me. I never experienced that ever,
Why didn't it work out?
It didn't work out because the fire and drive I have in me, I didn't see that in him. I want to make something out of my life. I want to be financially stable. So.
Okay. So, you had to go.
Yeah, I had to go.
You meet another boyfriend.
Yes.
Y'all begin to live together.
Yes, we were together for 3 years. I won't say his name.
Okay.
We were together for 3 years, and when I dated him, he was the missing piece to my puzzle that cracked every fucking thing for me about what I've been going through. He was very abusive, very trolling, didn't want me to be seen, trying to start a business. He's hating about that, criticizing me, not being supportive. Very emotional, yelling like a female, just too much, very physical abuse and stuff like that.
Got you.
I left him. I had to. But I had nowhere to go. I had nowhere to go.
You go back to your dad. With a daughter.
Yeah. Like I said, I had nowhere to go.
Just don't say none at all.
And when I did reach out to my father for the first time in 3 years, I was put in a position because when you're in an abusive relationship, see, I didn't know this, but when you're in an abusive relationship and you call the police on your partner that's abusing you, if there's any children that's in the household in Texas and also South Carolina, they will call Child Protective Services on you. And that's exactly what happened. So I never had Child Protective Services called on me. And I knew my father, you know, he's a good manipulator, good liar. So I knew he dealt with these cases a lot. And I asked him for some help. But to make the long story short, I left him and I didn't have nowhere to go. So I had to go back into my father's house. My father is a truck driver, okay? My father was never home. If he was home, it was probably like 2 days out like a weekend or something, but it was like once a month, you know, a month and a half, you know what I'm saying? My father was never home. So I felt like as a mother, we don't have nowhere to go. I'm not gonna go to the shelter because, you know, shelters are not safe nowadays. We have our own room, our own bathroom, our own quarter of the house. He's not home. It's really just me, his girlfriend, her son. So I felt like during that time within my situation, it was a good.
So this is my question because, okay, so she confirmed what I was wondering. The whole time, and I really hate that the host didn't ask this question yet, while he was sitting here, you know, graping his own daughter, where was the where was the girlfriend? That's just my question. Where was the girlfriend the whole entire time? All these times that this man sit here laying up in the bed with his daughter, naked, the brother walking in on him, all this stuff, where is the girlfriend? All right? Because this is the second time she mentioned the girlfriend.
Good decision during that time because I felt like he's never home and I would never leave my child around him. My daughter is.
She did say she worked nights as the nurse. But even throughout the daytime, right? Because when nurses work at night, they normally sleep throughout the day and get up around maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 3. But the daughter is staying there. Like the woman didn't see a change in behavior or certain behavior patterns with this little girl or with this teenage girl. Like, what if they're in the same house, they're coexisting? You mean to tell me that the woman couldn't see that in this little girl? Yeah, she said what the girl was at work, but my question is, did she not see the behavior, a certain behavior pattern with this girl, even when she's around the father? Something is missing here. Okay? Something is missing.
Is up to age. She's 7. I have taught her the necessary tools to communicate with me. But like I stated, if he was at the house way more than what he was, I wouldn't have went there.
Okay.
I wouldn't have went there.
Because is that people are gonna wonder. You know.
I understand, and I don't care what their opinions are because you could say shoulda, coulda, woulda, all that extra shit, but I had a whole car packed up to the rooftop with me and my daughter's shit. And I had to drive from South Carolina all the way to Texas with no plan. You know what I'm saying? nothing. I had a plan, but I had to put myself in a position to start on that plan.
Right.
So I could get out of his house.
Right. Was it awkward walking in the house for the first time, seeing your dad with your daughter? Was it like, was it weird?
It was weird. It was very uncomfortable. It was like, fuck, I'm back in the same house with this nigga. But I felt like over the years and, you know, me growing up and shit like that, I felt like I tried to forgive him, and I tried to give him chances just with me, not with my kid, for him to make things right. I felt like he definitely played with my emotions, knowing I didn't have my mom, and he was my only parent. And I was willing to look past everything he did if he was able to change and prove that he could be a father. I think that's what I just wanted was my dad, not a man that looked at me as his woman. He didn't come to my high school graduation. He wasn't even there. You know how bad that shit hurt me? My mom not even there. Why aren't you here as my parent? Regardless what the fuck going on, why are you not being a regular dad? Why are you not showing me how a man should be towards his kids? I done watched this man beat every single fucking woman up. Beat their ass. That's all I saw growing up from him. He never showed me a good role model what a man is, ever.
Something happened between him and his mother. For him to grow up hating women and doing that to women and doing that to his daughter, something happened between him and his mother. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Something happened between her father and her grandmother when he was growing up in the house with her. It was a disconnect, and that he took that out on women.
He let you dress provocatively.
Yeah.
He, like you said, never looked at you.
This is why I tell y'all, and you know what, China Girl, it don't have to be that he was touched. That's why I be telling y'all, if you have boys growing up, sons, and you are single, don't you ever fix your mouth to say that you can be a mom and a dad. Those be the same guys that you complain about now, or those are the same ones that a lot of women are raising alone. Because they got good grades in school, that doesn't mean anything. Because they got good conduct in school, that doesn't mean anything. A lot of the men that I had on this platform about maybe 2.5 years ago, it's sad they come on my platform and tell me that, you know, the terrible relationship that him and his mother had. For me to have grown men to break down on my platform at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and we're talking about 7-8 hour streams, because I just couldn't let it go. Break it down on my platform at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Y'all know that phrase. Most men don't cry. We not finna show our emotions like that, especially to another man. The fuck we look like? I ain't know none of these men. I ain't know none of them. But because the opportunity was there, and I forgot the topic I was talking about. But it has something to do around mothers getting on my platform, women getting on my platform, talking about they didn't need a man in the house with their sons. But these be the same men that grow up to beat women. These right here is what you call the nice men. You know, the ear whispers, the one that tells you, the ones that tell you the things that you want to hear. Right? These the guys that we call your Pookies and your Ray Rays. And yes, the Pookies and Ray Rays exist in the black community and also in the white community. Wait a minute. Mercury got a picture up. Hold on. Everybody pause. Everybody stop. Everybody stop tapping on both platforms, YouTube and TikTok. Everybody just stop. Mercury finally put up a damn picture. After a whole fucking week and some change. Shout outs to Mercury. Finally got a damn picture. Thank you so much for putting a profile picture on your damn page. Yeah, I'm just noticing that. I just noticed that. All right. So again, when y'all get on here and you know and talk, you know, you speak about how you can do things alone. You lay down with a man, and then you that relationship you're no longer in that relationship, and especially if you have a son, you better make sure you have a male role model around, someone you could trust, right, around him. Because again, I said, and I've said this, so I don't know how many times I can say this. You turn these boys because you think that you're being hard and rough. Don't no boy expect that from a woman. Don't no boy expect that from his mother. He expect that from his father, but not from his mother. So he turn around and shift that energy, start messing with different girls, start messing with different women, start putting his hands on different women. He'll tell you the stuff that you want to hear, not the stuff that you need to hear. These will be the same ones that hop from home to home, from, you know, got a baby mom over here, got a baby mom over there, all this stuff. Why? It's because you thought you was being tough on him growing up, and you created a monster. And I know this for a fact.
As a child?
Never.
I know there was no more sexual abuse for you. Was there any more physical abuse from your father?
Oh, yeah.
Moving forward?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my dad done sent me to school with a black eye and everything. Like, I was literally in an abuse relationship with my own father. Like he was my nigga or something, you know?
How were you able to leave the home?
Well, his girlfriend at the time, so she watched him beat my ass. She watched him throw me down the stairs and all this extra shit.
This is while you're living with him?
Yeah, this is like...
With your daughter?
No. This was when, like, during high school. Okay. So, no. As an adult, my dad, no. As an adult, when I moved back in with him, it was only one situation that happened that was very physical. And this just recently happened, May 21st. My daughter, she was on game restriction. So my dad, he's married, right? He's legally married, and he has a mistress that he's with now for 3 years. My daughter was on game restriction, and I put all her games up in the closet upstairs, right? Now, my dad's girlfriend, her son, I guess.
I will be shooken up. Listen to this. She got a daughter. Her father started touching her at 5. His daughter at 5, which is this young lady here. So now she got pregnant, had a daughter, and she was forced to move back into the house with her abuser, which is her father. Like, like, did nothing come across? The same thing that he did to me, he could do the same thing to his granddaughter. Just, I
have the same gaming system as my daughter. And when my daughter was off restrictions, I told her to go upstairs and get it. Mm-hmm. They gone. All her games is gone. So I'm like, what the fuck? I just bought this shit. Her birthday was just a month ago. Where the fuck her games at? You know what I'm saying? So I go confront his girlfriend. She telling me that maybe her son, which is 12 years old, my daughter's 7. The fuck are you trading games with my daughter for?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she tried to, you know, play it like he probably traded games, or it probably was out, or she misplaced them, or she probably threw them away. All this, you know, what if shit. So I leave the house. I'm 38 hot. I'm mad. I'm chilling with my brother, and I'm letting him know what's going on. Now I come back to the house. My father's there. I wasn't expecting him to be there. You know what I'm saying? So my daughter goes in the room or whatever. So I come out the room and I asked him, not being rude or disrespectful, I asked him, I said, so did we find her games, or would I need to replace the games? Before I could even say replace, he's cursing me out, bitch, you mad about these motherfucking games, shut the fuck up, blah, blah. So I'm arguing back with him. How the fuck you gonna get mad at me about games I spent my hard-earned money on? This is my daughter's shit. Like, how the fuck you gonna get mad at me? So, made a long story short, he started, you know, throwing my shit out my room or whatever. I called the police. He started cursing my damn daughter out, calling her bitch, telling her shut the fuck up, all this extra shit. I black out at this point. I grabbed the first thing I could saw, and that was that pot. And my brother holding my dad back in the corner, and his bitch holding me back or whatever. Next thing you know, I throw the pot, I break the statue. My dad started coming around, cursing and arguing or whatever. And from this moment, I blacked out, so I can only tell you what was told to me. My father walked up to me. I reached back, and I punched him.
Young lady, look here. If you go do the hand movements now, stop hitting the microphone. All right, he got the black and white, you know, background that's going on, and you fucking it up. You messing up the shadows, okay? So we know all this anger from the age of 5 is starting to come out. But stop fucking up his studio set. It's probably cost a lot of money to get that black and white going. You know, got the dark shadow on this side and got the light. Just be careful.
Reached back and I punched him, and next thing you know, all I remember is that he got me by my hair.
Hold on, what you say, Fat Boo? She said, great vibes. Your trigger warning message should have been larger in your thumbnail on YouTube. Well, hell, that's the biggest I can get it. If I was going to do it bigger, it would have covered up her head, right? I want people to, when they find this video on YouTube, Fat Boo, I wanted them to see her head, then also trigger warning. That's why I got trigger warning also in the title on YouTube. Damn.
And he punches me in my face. And that's the picture I sent you. And made long story short, yeah, they took my ass to jail because it was his story, his girlfriend's story, her son's story against my story.
Thank you, Maria. You said it. So, now, okay, all right. So, due to the fact that the girlfriend stood beside her man and they both bullied her and she was sent off to jail, now her daughter is with the grandfather, the same person that touched his daughter at the age of 5. Do y'all think that the girlfriend knew about what was going on between him and his daughter? Just a question.
Where'd your daughter go?
My daughter was at the house with them.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Damn. 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 Like, that right there would have been the prime opportunity to tell the police everything your father has done to you since the age of 5. But of course, she said she blacked out. She was in the moment. Oh my goodness.
Yep. The police left my daughter at the house with them.
How long?
Just for
Overnight?
a day.
Yep, overnight.
It was a day.
She didn't come back and tell you anything?
That's the first thing I asked her.
Okay.
That's the first thing I asked her, right in front of the, because my father tried to put my daughter in foster care. So the people had my daughter. When I got out of the hospital, it was mandated for me to go to the hospital for a mental evaluation because I stated that I tried to commit suicide when I was 13. So they sent me to a mental hospital, and CPS was calling the mental hospital and letting them know that they had my kid. And I'm begging the doctors to let me go, because if I lose my child, I can't even put into words what the fuck's gonna happen or how I would react. I will have a mental breakdown. And by the grace of God, they did let me go, and I was able to get my daughter.
Gotcha.
And from there, you know, I hustled. It took me only a month to get into my own place. So, you know, we got our own place now. We're good.
If we could go back in time and speak to the 5-year-old girl, what's something that you would tell her?
Good question.
She's worthy. She's worthy of love. I hear her. I see her.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a hard question to just answer. Because, you know, you're 5. The only person that can actually answer that question would be her mother during that time. Because she's speaking from, you know, what has transpired during that time and the time that it took for her to somewhat to try to look past it, but she hasn't. So that's honestly, that was the wrong question for him to ask her. That would be a question for her biological mother. Because the mother, I'm sorry, y'all, the mother, of course, the form of, you know, protection would have came in. That's number one. But worthy, no. Anytime I hear a woman say, hey, I know my worth, when you have that mess to come out of your mouth, you're telling us anything that's worth something, meaning it can be bought. You're putting a dollar sign on it. We know what you're trying to say. We know what you're trying to say. But women, please don't say that. I know my worth. You're telling me I can buy you. Okay? How much are you worth? A lot of times when women say that, I know my worth, I'm strong, I'm beautiful, you know, I got, you know, I got potential, and, you know, and I mean, look at my accolades, and the list goes on. We get what you're saying, but don't use that word. All right? This is when femininity comes in, but we're going to deal with that later.
She's safe now. And that there's nothing in this world that she can't do. And I will also say to that 5-year-old girl that
Laura said, LOL, LOL, do you know how to be a woman? Well, I hope not. Well, I mean, I ain't trying to be a woman, you know. I mean, really, I'm really not trying to be a woman, you know. I mean, don't know why that question is being asked, not trying to be a woman, just really don't know why that question is being why that question was put up there, but I don't know why, I don't understand why it's put there, but how somebody be trying to be sarcastic, they start talking like that. I mean, I don't know why they did that. I mean, like bang bang, boom boom bang bang, bang 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 bang, bang 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 bang, bang 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 bang. Eat it. Wait a minute. You go all the way on YouTube to put that in the chat. Edie said, "Great vibes." Wait, what? I thought you was trans. You say you thought that I could change out transmissions? Oh, I can change out a transmission. You damn right. I can get that car in the air and I can drop. You damn right. I can drop that transmission. You fucking right. Put a new one in there. I don't know what trans you talking about. I'm talking about a transmission that go in a car. I can switch that out. You damn right. She didn't put that in the chat on TikTok. She went she went on YouTube to put that shit in the fucking chat. The fuck is going on here? Oh my goodness. Let's continue.
it wasn't her fault.
But listen, Laura, just to let you know, women snitches on themselves. Just like men, women snitching on. If you listen to a woman long enough, just let her talk. She snitches on herself. So why do you think? Listen, why do you think? Listen, Laura, are you still here? Put a one in the chat. Watch this right here. She said just like listening to you. I know. Laura, let me ask you a question, or anybody. Why do y'all think they call, when you get married, they call the man the groom? We have to know something to be the groom. That's why they call the man the groom. Because he have to groom his wife. So you got to know something about women for that to happen.
I didn't deserve it. I asked for it. And it's not fair. You got 9 daughters. Not saying I would want him to do it with any of my sisters.
So question. He got 9 daughters. I didn't know this. He got 9 daughters. Somebody mute Edie. Somebody please mute Edie. Cause I'm trying to finish up here, but Edie is gonna make me throw up. Somebody please mute Edie on YouTube. Listen, can another moderator mute a moderator? Can another moderator mute a moderator? Can we? This shit is getting out of control. And watch she hop on TikTok and start cutting up in the chat. So listen. All right, listen. Okay. YouTube is on. They cutting up. Like, they fucking cutting up. So this man, now I'm trying to be serious here, okay? Because the video, we got what? Less than a minute left on this video. This man got 9 other daughters. So, wow, it's just so much to unpack here. Was he doing it just to this daughter, or what was he doing with his other his other daughters? It's just a lot to unpack here.
Sisters, but you have 9 daughters. What I want to know is why me? What made me? What made me convince you to choose me to have those type of relationships with? Why would you want to fuck up my head and try to fuck up my life because you feel like your life is fucked up already?
There it is right there, Shandu. Shandu, that's the perfect answer. Easy access. Easy access, you was there. Perfect answer. Perfect answer.
And to belittle me all my life, to tell me I would never go to college, tell me I was too stupid to go. Chris, I went. Mm-hmm. I went. Mm-hmm. I made straight A's. Mm-hmm. I graduated. I walked across that stage, Chris. I felt like I was on the top of the fucking world. I felt like I was unstoppable. I refuse to let him control my life.
You have any regrets?
Oh, yeah.
How?
I have a regret. Can I say it?
Of course.
I regret not biting that motherfucker so hard. So when I did tell them people that he was touching on me, I at least had proof.
All right, that's the end of that video. Wow. That's a lot to take in. That's a lot. You know, I don't want to add nor take away from this young lady's story. You said this looks like more paid acting than not. I got you. Lena said, leaving work. Thank you, Great Vibes. This was really insightful to hear it from somebody else other than me. Appreciate it, Butterfly Baby. What the Butterfly Baby 9108. Appreciate that. Again, so let me say this for anyone: if you're experiencing anything in life, try to remember. Try to take a step back and allow yourself to remember anything that have taken place in your past. Allow yourself to start dealing with that. That's the only way you're going to be able to move forward in life. And y'all, one thing that y'all know about me, like I said, I joke, I laugh, I have a great time. But it's a lot of things that I don't play with. Marriages, relationships, and children. When I talk about those three, man, goddamn it, some of the shit that comes out of my mouth, you're not going to like it. And it's not for you to like it. Because maybe you don't like something, I'm helping someone else. And I've had the messages to prove it. So I'm doing something right. Maybe not completely, but I'm doing something right. We can't expect healing to take place for the next year or the next 5 or even 10 years. Sometimes it takes people their entire life just to get past a certain point. Do we have triggers? Yes. But you got to ask yourself, what is causing that trigger? What is allowing you, who is allowing you to flare up in that moment and deal with that head on? Especially if you have children. Because if you don't deal with issues or unsolved issues, you're going to pass that shit down to your children indirectly. This is why it's best for a lot of you all to keep your legs shut until you take the proper steps to get yourself in line to where you are lined up to be Christ-like. That's being righteous. When you are righteous, now God is able to use you the way you needed to be used to serve others. I really hope that someone have learned something today. Yes, this story was very triggering, but I have to do this. That's the only way we're going to overcome these obstacles and able to cross over these mountains. And most of the time, we're going to move these mountains. But guess what, y'all? We're going to do it together. All right? I really appreciate you all for tuning in to your boy Great Vibes on 10 for the